Now, one of the things that our guests often ask us is, how does this education here at Landmark Education, how is it distinct from all the education that you've ever known? We think it's a logical question. It's a reasonable question to ask. So I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to just do some work to kind of illustrate for you how the education here is distinct from the other education that you may have been involved with throughout your life. So I'll use the board to do it here. So in order to distinguish it, I'm going to kind of talk about different types of learning. So I'll write learning up here on the board. So there are different types of learning, and I'll draw a circle here for one type of learning. And this type of learning I'm going to call informative. So there's a type of learning that's informative, and this would be more like the traditional education that you've been exposed to throughout your life. So in informative learning, there are fields of study. And you know, there's lots and lots of fields of study. Raise your hand and tell me a field of study. Just raise your hand, I'll call on you. Lupita.
Law.
Law, good.
Engineering.
Engineering, good.
Economics.
Economics, good.
Math.
Math, great.
Education.
Education.
Political science.
Political science.
Geography.
Geography.
Hair coloring.
Hair coloring. Not for me.
Biology.
Biology.
Computer science.
Computer science, good. Yeah, try on.
Astrophysics.
Astrophysics, and the list goes on. You know that, you can see how they came up really quickly? Well, we're just going to pick one for my illustration here. Let's go with mathematics. Okay? So we'll say that in the field of study of mathematics, there is an outcome in studying that. There's something that we want to accomplish, or what I'm calling an outcome by studying mathematics. What's the outcome? Take a shot at it. Try it.
Knowledge.
It is knowledge. Yeah, the outcome of informative learning is knowledge. It's much like everything that you ever studied in life. The outcome was knowledge. Anything through elementary school, middle school, high school, all through advanced education, the outcome was knowledge. Now, maybe you got a job out of that. Maybe you didn't. How many of you studied a particular area and now don't work in that area? Mm-hmm. Good, right? So you studied it for knowledge. Very good. So I'll write that there, knowledge. All right, that's informative learning. And we've all, been around that type of learning for most of our lives. So now, how is our education distinct from informative learning? This is what we would call transformative. At Landmark Education is transformative learning. Much like informative learning, there is a field of study. Anybody want to take a shot at what the field of study is? Rana.
Life.
Life, good. Please.
Self.
Self, good. Jamie?
Ontology.
Ontology, good. Yes, ontology. And so said in a more commonly used phrase, human being. So the field of study for transformative learning is human being, which is very narrow. And the field of study for informative learning is very broad. 15 of them came up here really quickly, and that was just the first cut. So at Landmark Education, our field of study is human beings, as Jamie said, ontology, the study of being. Well, in studying human beings, actually to be even more exact to what the field of study is, it's you. The field of study in transformative learning is you. And we do have an intended outcome as well. What would you say is the intended outcome of the transformational learning? Transformative learning. Try it.
A life that you love.
A life that you love. Yeah, what else? Morgan.
Happiness.
Happiness. Good. What else?
Fulfilling.
Say that again.
Fulfilling.
Fulfilling. Very, very good. Yeah, what else?
Confidence.
Confidence. Good. Everything you're saying is right there. I'm going to distill it down to 2 words. So the outcome of transformative learning is power and freedom. That's the outcome. In informative learning, the outcome is knowledge. In transformative learning, the outcome is power and freedom. Now, for those of you that are guests here tonight, I would imagine that most of the graduates that you know don't say things like, I got power and freedom when I did the Landmark Forum. Some of them might, but most of them don't. Mostly they say things like, I went into the Landmark Forum, and I've been struggling with this 20 pounds for like 15 years, and I came out, and suddenly the weight just flew off me. What you can hear in the background is power and freedom. Or they say things like, I went into the Landmark Forum, and I hadn't talked to my mom in 20 years. We got into a fight at Thanksgiving, and that was it. I cut her out of my life. And during one of the breaks of the Landmark Forum, I called her, and we sorted that whole thing out. And it's like nothing ever happened. See, if you listen in the background of what our graduates say, you can hear the power and freedom. So that distinguishes our education from traditional education, which is informative learning. So I want you to take a moment and share with the person next to you. I'll just give you a second to do this. What's an area of your life that you would like to have more power and freedom? You see, we already know that you have power and freedom. Our education is about giving you more power and freedom in life. So just take a moment to do that.